Hey guys, this is Asad Siddiqui again. I'm the owner and developer at iDesignSmart.com. Link to contact me is in the description of this video, and today I'll be doing a review and show you how to set up and get started with the WordPress Enfold theme. This is a very powerful theme, and the great thing that I like about it is you can import all the sample content with the click of a button. And secondly, it gives you a very powerful editor, which is based on their own proprietary framework called Avaya. And I really like the visual editor of this theme. Once again, a reminder, just to make it easier for me to make such videos, I do have a link to my affiliate hosting provider. So if you're looking for a domain or a hosting, I do use HostGator. I have affiliate with other hosting companies as well, but since I recommend HostGator, I do have a link for them in the description below. And I also have a link, affiliate link to this theme as well, where if you buy with my affiliate code, then I get credit for it. So a little disclaimer there. So without further ado, I did install this theme on my demo hosting account. So I will go to iDesignSmart.com and /enfold. And this is basically I install the theme over there, and this is how my demo installation looks like. So as you can see, I have not done anything. I have just installed the theme and activated it. So going to the back end, you can type in wp-admin to access the back end of the WordPress site, and will log in the back end. And I will remember myself and remember the password. Okay, so here this is how the backend is gonna look like. I know that you guys must be familiar with how this interface is. So going in straight in the appearance and themes section, what you're going to notice is I have the default themes that come with the installation. I don't need them anymore, so it's a good idea to delete the themes that you're not using. Some content might be loaded, and loading means it will be in memory, so it can slow the website down a little, and I don't see why they should be there. They're just taking more space. So this is a theme Enfold that I'm working with, and if I right click on it and open in a new tab, this is how my site looks like. So the first thing I mentioned, by the way, this is just a default WordPress, so I don't have any content or anything. So I will show you how to import sample content with this theme that came in with the theme, and then we'll look at the pages a little bit. So what you need to do is go to this Enfold option there in the backend left side panel. And once you see this options page, one of the option here is demo import. So click on demo import, and then it gives you some samples which we were looking at here. So for example, I like this sample. So this is a nice and clean, easy to look at sample. Looks very good. We'll look at the responsive view as well. So the responsive view menu looks good, the theme looks good, and everything lays out pretty well. So I like this layout. Let's say I like some other layout, I can go with that. If you like some other layout that works well with you, like a vertical menu or something, you could do that as well. So I'll, for my demo purposes, just go with this one, and it's called a flat business demo. So I will go in here, and I will install this demo now. So one thing that you might have noticed is I also got a layer slider that was bundled in with this theme. So when I got Enfold and activated it, it installed a plugin as well. So now I will click to import, and then I will sit and wait for it to import. And once you install the demo content, you can always go back, like you can clean up your database, and I use a reset WordPress plugin for that. This also might give you a suggestion of how you could do that. Yeah. If you want to completely remove a demo installation after importing it, you can use a plugin like WordPress Reset, which is exactly what I use to reset my content. So here it is, just importing the pages and the pictures and things like that that are needed to set up my demo site, just like they have in the demo here, with a click of a button. And once that happens, then I'll show you. So it says, all right, Sparky, all the import has been done. So if I refresh the page now, I should see a different look and feel, and there you go. So it has everything set up, and now we will talk about how to edit pages with the Avaya framework, a visual editor, and we'll talk a little bit about the page layout and theme options. So first thing is the logo and the menu here. So if you go here, you'll go to theme options. So basically when we imported that demo content, it imported the theme settings as well. So a lot of things are changed now. So you can see the front pages. This is the front page of the site, and you can all in the latest WordPress version, you can just, it displays an edit front page, and if you click on that, you'll go in the back end of this page. So basically you can change the logo in here, and logo you can upload your own, or they have like what they have is the sample, which is right here, or one of the images here. I think it's this. And if you want a different logo, you can upload a new logo and set it over there. Fave icon is a little icon that displays in the browser bar, and then I will just leave the rest of the settings as default. You can go to advanced styling tab, and then you can change any of these styles. One other thing that I would like to mention, I do think that this theme also have custom CSS files, so it's not a good idea to go here and edit editor and edit the styles.css. The reason being, if you update the theme, then you're going to lose your changes. So you always have to manage your CSS somehow. You can define this here on how it has to be styled, and then you can say edit element, and it's going to display a different, like it has its own style editor that you could use to change it. For example, its colors and backgrounds and font style, font weight, height, line height, those kind of things. So you can set it up here. And if you go to the header, this is how it is but you can use different styles here. Like I could do logo right and menu on the left side, and this is how it's gonna look like now. So I will just go with the default, which is kind of the standard. Here you can also turn off the breadcrumbs and things like that, the separation between the menu items, so you can display a bar here or something like that. And the header size, you can also change that. So if you want large header, or you can specify even your own custom value. So they do give you a lot of options here, and these are tabs. So you can say sticky header, and when you scroll down the page, this bar will scroll with you if you want to do that. And then you can play around with these options to see how it looks like. You can also make the header transparent by changing this value. So, and mobile menu is by default you'll have the 3 bars there, but if you want to change or customize that, you could go there. I don't think that there is like anything super important to get you started. Basically, once you import the theme, your footer and sidebars will be here in the widgets bar in the appearance section. So these are the sidebars, and you can change the footer by adding or changing the text here in the inside of a text widget, or you could use the latest portfolio widget or Google Map widget or any plugin widget that you have, like newsletters and those kind of things. So the thing I liked about this demo is it's a nice full width page. It's clean, plenty of white space, and then it also has nice pictures. You can also use builder elements to create this kind of a portfolio layout, and then you can have some nice pictures and layout. So you also see how this color changes. So we'll go in the back end and see how this page is laid out. So if I click on the edit front page, it's gonna open in a new tab, and then we see the Avaya layout builder. Okay, so now it has loaded, and basically what you're interested in is the visual layout. If you want to go to the default layout, then you can switch this layout by clicking this, and what you will see is a bunch of short codes. So these short codes they are coded into the theme, so when the page renderer gets this, it knows how to render it and what does these parameters mean. So basically, coming back, if we had just had to design it with short codes, it would be very difficult, as you would have to know all the parameters and their values. But if you go to advanced layout editor, this layout makes it extremely easy to lay content on your page. So what you're interested in are basically these two containers. So how this works is you need to have a container, and then inside of the container you can have elements, or elements are contained inside of a container. So if you look at these two and look at all the other sections, they are contained inside of a colored or a grid layout. And then you have columns, and you can columns are also can also be thought of as containers. So first you have either of these two, and when you hover over these, it gives you direction on what these are. And once you have this container, you can put columns inside of the container, and then your content element inside of the column. So if you look at the demo page and you see some text here and the menu here, so the menu is controlled by, if you go to this appearance and menu option, but the text is within the page. So if you go to the page, here's the text and here is the other text, and to edit this I will just click on the edit icon, and if you just want to edit this, you can put a different heading, even a different style, and then you can display the text which is here. You can just change it if you're happy with this, or you can like add more text and stuff like that to it. And you can also specify the subheading size and how much padding do you want at the bottom. So this is pretty cool. And if you look at the section before this is a color section. So there are two boxes here, and if I click on the top edit icon, this will be the color section where my heading is contained in. So it is basically the blue background that you're looking at. And then if you click on the section background here, you will see the blue color here. And basically it's just a blue header, and there is nothing else is special about it, and the height is specified here, so you can change that, and the blue is going to change its height. And all the default settings are just like the demo import, and as you can see I have not modified anything. Next section is also a color section. So if you go here, it displays the color section. You hover over it, you see the two icons, so you click on it, and then you see the section background, and this is going to be a white in color. And if you look at the demo, so you see the white background and there is black text here. So white background, and then inside of the color section we have three columns. First column is 1 by 5, and the second column is 3 by 5, and the third column is 1 by 5 as well. So inside this is just done so this content looks centered or justified, and there is some white space on either side of our div. So if you look at this, you have some white space on the other side, and you have a centered content. And here this is just inside of a column. You can edit this, and this is a special heading element that we are using. So if you go to content elements, you'll see a special heading right here, so you can drag this and put that in your content bar there, and then you can go about editing it. For example, if you want to add another like let's add another section to this at the end, and we'll see how that looks. Then you have a separator element here that's like a white space or separation. So separator slash white space is the name, and you see the different settings. It has a 50 pixel width and the white background, so it goes well with the page. And then you have a text element here, which is a text block. So text block is simply used to put some text in. You can also go to text view, and then you can put H2s, or like if you want to use this for your editing. This is just a standard WordPress editor. And here after the separator you have like 3 boxes, which again have 3 special controls inside of them, and these are icon box elements. So you can also use an element called the icon box. Here is the icon box. So if you can drag and drop this, it'll give you an option to select what icon will be there, what is the heading and what is the text, and it'll also let you control the colors of your icon. So in this scenario we are displaying a blue color, and their icon will be this, which is orange. So if I select something else, that'll become orange, but I won't change it for this right now. Same thing here, pretty similar to the first section. Take a look at my recent project, some sample text, and then you have a separator, and this is an image kind of element. So it's an image content element, and then you can also set up links for this and caption for this. The image setting, you can click on this image and then you can select from your media library. It's gonna take you to the media library, and you can select whatever image you want to display. And going further down, you have a blog post being displayed in masonry style. So this is like you can click on this, you see a element name is masonry, and it is configured to display portfolio entries from your blog here. So you can set up different categories of your blog, and you can select what kind of category you want to display or post if you have to use this layout. And by the way, if you do look at the theme documentation, they will have documentation on each of the design elements that are displayed here. So I think this is a good start, and you got a good idea of how to work with this editor. Let's just add before this we'll add another content, just so you know how to add different elements, and then I will show you how you can save templates and go back to them. So here, one cool thing is you can always clone an existing element. So I am going to clone this element by clicking on this button, and once I do, you see that there is another section that came in. So testimonials I'll remove because I don't need to display the testimonials, and this I can always edit. So so I will add another heading, and I will change it, and you see this is how it's going to look like. And if I want to edit it, I can go there and do that. Also, I can control the change the colors of my heading by clicking on the second tab. I'm not gonna do that right now, but I can go to the back end and I can change the whole color there if I wanted. So if I click on this white, it's gonna bring up this editor. I can go this and say I want to be like this color. So I'll save and update my page, and my changes are going to reflect in the page. So the advantage of using this Avaya Builder is you'll get very quick development done, and everything will be responsive, so you don't have to worry about custom layouts and how you'd go about different divs and styles and things like that. So coming back, and I am going to refresh this page, and I want to locate where my changes. Okay, so you see this is what I added, and just also displays in whatever color I choose. I selected from the color selection, and basically I have total control on how this is going to look like. So another interesting thing is, if you go to the service tab, that I noticed in this demo is this has a yellow, so that everything changes to yellow. So basically if I edit this page, you will see the complete layout on this page as well. which is slightly different than the first page. So what they have done here is they will select yellow color. So if I go to the color section now and edit this, you will see that the section background is yellow as opposed to that blue right here. And then you have the text, services, and this is like a special heading section. Then you have another color section, and you'll have 4 icon boxes in here. So if you click on this, you will see the color of the icons will be changed. So if you go to colors, you see the colors as opposed to the blue on the home page, it is yellow here. So it gives you whole control of the page. I want to open this in a new tab to also look at how the page looks like, so we can talk through this. So we have 4 columns and we have 4 different icons and text here, as opposed to the first where icon was on the left and text was on the right. This has icon at the top and text at the bottom. Then again, a similar scheme where they have spacing on both sides, centered content. Then you have a grid row, and grid row gives you columns to work with. So you basically have a grid or cells. So you have 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, and this is going to look like this. And you see the pictures coming from bottom up, so you can put animation in the images or image elements. What you see here is, unlike the color section that we had at the top, like if you look at the color section, this is not using the full width of the container. So there is a little space here and a little space here. But if you look at this section, for example, the yellow, there are 2 columns, but it's taking the full width of the page. So if you go back and look at the 2 sections there, these are just 2 columns. So they are not inside of a grid row or a color section. So they are just 2 columns, 1 by half, 1 by half, and I think it's a grid kind of a view. So if I do that, this is a grid row. So basically the grid displays full screen and the color displays a little spacing or border or padding at the end. So I think this gives you a fairly good idea of what's going on, these 2, and then you put in columns inside of that. I would recommend 3 columns for the home page. And whenever you think of responsive design, think in terms of sections. So a home page should be a good summary of what your site is about, and if a reader is interested in any of the content, they can click read more and go right in. So if you look at the contents, there are a lot of different things like tables and buttons and full width containers, full width button, post slider, catalog testimonials, animated numbers, like you want to show I'm 30% done here, I'm 40% designer, 30% developer. So that all kind of things you can do. Social share buttons you can configure here, and the options will be in ENFOLD options. So if you go there, you'll see all the social media that you could set up. So social profiles is what I was talking about. So you can do this and do that, the social icons, and if you go to their URL, you will see a code snippet to add different social icons in different places as well. So you need a little CSS for that. And if you want to add a new one, you can just click on this plus sign, and you can add a new one. Like let's say for Pinterest, I'll use a new icon, and you can have a bunch of different icons, and those icons will be displayed whenever you use that short code. And sidebars are pretty standard with WordPress, so you could specify in page layout what kind of sidebars you're using and configure it in appearance and widgets. One last thing that I would like to touch is if you go to appearance and menus, then your menu can be controlled from here. If you're a little familiar with WordPress, you know exactly how this works, and basically you can select whatever page you want from your site to display in the menu. You can select it and add to menu, and it'll come right here. So I'll just added sample page, and you can indent it if you want to show a drop down. So how it is my contact form or contact page is going to display a sample page in the drop down, and then I could just go to the sample page by hovering over the contact form. So you see how if I go to content, I see a sample page here. So you can also use mega menu with this theme, so you could configure it. I saw a tutorial on their site that displays how you could go about configuring it, but this layout had pretty decent pages out of the box built in, and I don't have to do anything special. Contact page looks pretty cool, and it has a fully working Google Map integration with it. So I do recommend this theme. I think really why is the visual builder is extremely powerful, and with it you can come up with pretty good layouts in pretty quickly, and it gives you a lot of control in terms of design, and has a lot of options, and the responsive layout works out of the box, which is great. So if you do explore this theme, or you do decide to buy this theme, use my affiliate link in the description. And if you do want to purchase hosting, again, I am working with HostGator, so you can get discount if you use my link. And I appreciate you watching my video and my short tutorial. Do leave a comment if you have a suggestion or you would like to see something else. And until next time, take care.